What's up, warriors, soul tribe, star children, those holding the light? We're going to tap back in and see what's going on behind the scenes. Confirmations of things that we've already seen and know, or things that we should be aware of. Let's see. What's it gonna be? Forbidden, non-committal, sexual energy on the table, at least floating in the air here. This energy that's craving your energy. They're starving. They're falling and they can't get up. Their charm and grace, they cannot pretend to have a kind heart. Their beauty, that mask of cloaking, what do they call it? Glamour spell? Oh yeah, it looks like them glamour spells are gone in reverse. I don't think there's a makeup product out there that's gonna help. What about this? They're trying not to feel hopeless. They're trying not to sink into despair, and they're hiding their face. They're hiding because they can see that it's sinking away. They're falling apart. That has been coming out about these karmics falling apart, crumbling with the system. You hold no bitterness. They didn't bring you to your breaking point. They thought they had you at your limit and overwhelmed, but you're not. While they are realizing their spells are going back in reverse, they're also realizing that you're cool. You see the truth. You know of their intentions and you know of your own. And who's honest? Who has the integrity? They're afraid that you're remembering the past and see that they have not changed. What do we need to know about this glamour magic fading? They're blocked from a commitment to you. You're maintaining your distance. And they are in conflict. While you're not at your breaking point, there's a divine masculine energy in your energy, or feminine if you're feminine. Somebody that wants to unveil more truths and give you a message. Somebody that wants to come clean. What about this divine energy? They're in conflict. Okay, so we have you here. You're cool. And then we have this divine masculine energy that's in your energy that's in conflict. That's who it is that you're keeping your distance from. This opposite, this contract or relationship that you brought a closure to, or them. Either way, it's been a finality. It's been a farewell. Good riddance. Go on your way in peace. They're in conflict because they want your intimacy and they're spying on you. But you're aware of their dishonesty, their deception, how they're filled with tricks. How else are you feeling about this situation, not at your breaking point? You're not resisting these changes. You're not suppressing your feelings. You're showing your true self, and you're not timid about it. They thought they were calling your bluff because they thought you were wearing a mask as they were. They thought you were pretending about your journey. But they're finding out more as they're spying. What else is this doing to them? You being non-resistant to changes. Past life, deja vu. You remember these patterns. You've had deja vu and memories, downloads. You've learned the karmic lessons. You know who you are, and this is them bittersweet. And resentment. They've had a lot of hateful words to say about you. And so you've kept your distance. You're better off. You're happy and you have a clear headspace. You've gone deep into your awareness, the importance of yourself and self-love and the value of you. And you found them unworthy. They want to go and run around in the mud and get all these fleas and lice and body lice or whatever. I saw that in some video, some dude laying on the street, and they said, the title said something about they had body lice. I'm like, I ain't never heard of that. But they're fine. Falling off the cliff. Your healing has them spiraling because you've released and purified your energy of them. That long journey has been depleted, drained, no more. Now it's a blur. You've forgiven and moved on. You've kept your distance. And what about this distance? And they want to have commitment that's blocked. What about this distance? They're running and chasing after ghosting, playing a disappearing act and being in silence, stonewalled with no words now. Before they didn't have any words and they were ghosting. Now they feel stonewalled, frozen. They feel like you're the one disappearing. Their twin flame. They're reflecting and they wish they could mirror that energy. They should be on the same level. A reflection, both on the same journey, but they kept silent, stonewalled, and now you have boundaries. Maybe they set those boundaries and now you're withholding those boundaries, making them stand on business. And you're avoiding, pushing away and blocking this energy that's spying, that wants your intimacy. They want your power. They don't want you. They don't want me. They want our energy, our healing energy. What about this? That's blocked. Their intuition is blocked. Or maybe they're trying to block yours. Maybe that was a tactic they tried also, so that you were unaware. But you've been growing. They have not been able to stop your self-growth, your self-focus, and soul-finding. What about this intuition that's blocked? They're confused, uncertain. They're caught in their own web. They're caught in their own web of illusions. They trapped themselves, thinking that you were going to be receptive, vulnerable to them in their web. They're confused and stuck, wanting to return, but you have your boundaries. They don't want to show that they've been left out in the cold. You walked away. And now they're only thinking about you, wanting to be attached to you, craving, obsessing, becoming infatuated, addicted, and cursed at the same time by their own witchcraft, their own negative mindset, placing themselves in a heart fog of illusions, of mixed signals, telling so many lies that they confuse themselves, feeling all messed up, wishing that they could find peace. That's why they want to run to you, hoping to manifest, expecting you to turn around, expecting you to turn around and embrace them when you already know the plans, but they're hoping that your intuition is blocked, but it is theirs. What do we need to... Oh, yeah, you're queen or king bee. You're that boss. You're that one that got away. They're finding it attractive, actually, how you do have boundaries. Even after you told them they didn't believe you, they had to see it for themselves. Now they're being stonewalled, frozen. They don't know what to say. They're trapped and confused. They only know they want to return and escape this karma, these legal matters. Now, what about this silence and them running and ghosting? They're wanting to mirror, but the police, spiritual police or 3D is on them. You turned your back. You've maintained your boundaries. You drew the line. You said enough was enough. Now you're living in the moment, carefree, solo dolo. And they're in heartbreak, wanting to return, but caught in that web. There you go again. That's all they have on their mind. It's this secure, focused, prospering energy of divine energy. You're not dealing with this off, on, hot, cold, detached energy that likes to ghost, that wanted to leave you trapped in the walls that you built. But you said goodbye to that. You abandoned. You left that out in the cold. They don't like to hear that. What about this police and them trying to mirror the energy? They're blocked. They can't mirror the energy. So what about this police? They're not dealing with that. You're not dealing with that. They want to say they love you, but you're not dealing with that hot cold. You're living single in the moment, taking in the sun rays. You close that cycle. You are the queen bee. You're not dealing with off, on, hot, and cold. You're not a hater. You're happy. You've rejected them and turned your back. You said no and abandoned this Jezebel that only wants to feed off your energy. Now, let's get some meat here. We got a little bit of the appetizer. What's going on in the energy as far as this spy? This energy, this vampire that needs to feed on divine energy only, because their Jezebel and another Jezebel is not going to cut it. Because they'll only drain each other. They have nothing within to give. It's all a surface pleasure. We have a Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You may be a Queen of Wands energy, or they may be Queen or King of Wands energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Who is this energy that has been blocked? That's glamour spells that are not working. Someone that you're standing your ground against, and you're being guided to stand your ground. You blocked this energy. They're not getting their wishes fulfilled. This Page of Wands energy. That was supposed to be a match, a King of Wands. We did see the Queen of Wands energy earlier. Oh, this is somebody that's very confused. This is someone that likes to use their wand. They're proud and fearless when it comes to using it. So what about this Page of Wands energy? Whoa. Oh, they're trying to be an emperor. Somebody that had to walk away. And they're not happy because you've rejected them and turned your back on them. They're in regret. They know that the truths are being revealed. They don't want to give a confession, but they can't get away with the tricks and lies. They're caught in their own web. You turned your back. Temperance has brought balance. You are protected and guided. King of Swords energy. Yeah, you're keeping your defenses up. You're using your intellect. They thought that they could use your emotional intelligence and abuse you with your own energy. Temperance is here. You're maintaining your guard. They wanted you to accept less. They didn't want you to walk away. They didn't want you to avoid them. They have a fear of change. A strong fear of change. But they want to play the role. So you're playing yours. Speaking the truth. Standing firm on the truth. You have clarity and you're making breakthroughs. Coming up with new ideas. Clear vision. Focus. Speaking the truth on this Jezebel that you abandoned. Ashe. Stay focused, stay grounded. Peace.